Welcome back. It's me, Content Kid. I'm going to need you to drone strike that like button, because we're at Area 51, live. I'm not kidding. Take a look. Yeah, so we got to be really, really quiet, because there could be somebody watching. Whoa.
I'm so glad you could join us. Want to smoke?
No.
Good, because you can't have one. Let's talk about the awards.
We're in a UFO right now.
I wish we weren't.
Did you know that if an unidentified flying object, I almost said frying object. Unidentified frying object is what you eat at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
But in real life, we have a thing called a UFO. That's unidentified flying object. And right now, I'm concentrating so hard on not looking that way. There's nothing over there. The UFO is just blank. It's just a nondescript ship. There's nothing in here. There's nothing over there for me to see. I need to be looking here.
Well, we gotta keep checking to make sure there's nothing over there.
I know. What if something shows up? Something could show up. So these objects that are flying around unidentified and drive me crazy all the time. Well, we're finally in one, and they're unidentified. That means you don't know what it is, right? So if you see it in the sky, you don't know what it is. It's an unidentified flying object. It's an object. It's flying. You don't know what it is. But let's say it's a plane. That means you know what it is, right? So it's just a flying object.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, now imagine it stops flying and it lands. What is it now?
Unidentified grounded phenomenon?
No, I would say actually it's just an object. It's just an O. There's no U, there's no F, it's just O.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but it's still unidentified.
Well, no, you found out what it was. I said it was a plane.
Okay.
It landed. It's not flying. It's just the object. And if it disappeared, it would be nothing. It'd be blank.
That's the only part of the trilogy that hasn't changed.
I know.
So I think you're right.
It's just the object.
Yeah.
Really. It's just an O.
This guy's a total stranger, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought you were dead.
When you got abducted, you were like,
I'm just a
who's
YouTuber.
this guy?
Yeah.
Actually, the aliens constructed me this way to better look like I could talk to you, so you don't get too confused. You don't get a culture shock when you show up in the UFO and you don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Like the first time you go to Paris, France.
Uh-huh.
It's a little bit like that, showing up in the UFO and you don't know how you got there.
I mean, I'm handling pretty well.
Yeah. So this is our 2024 Game of the Year video. It's UFO themed because I'm tired of getting abducted by UFOs every day. So I'm going to punch back. Two ninjas kick back against these UFOs that have been making my life such a living hell.
I don't know what this guy's talking. This guy, you're like Minecraft Steve right now.
Yeah.
Like, and just, I've been isekai'd into this realm, and you're talking about all kinds of bullshit. That's...
Oh man, we're isekai'd into the Minecraft movie. Not Minecraft, the Minecraft movie.
Mm-hmm.
So 2024 was an interesting year in that it was a continuation of 2023, which was a continuation of 2022. What does that mean? Games as a service. Crap. Garbage. Expensive. Everything's flopping. Deprofessionalization, as they say. That's the new buzzword that just dropped. What that means is that, how are these indie developers with two people beating our newest Ubislop? We don't know. Right after, this is a 2025 thing, but, Assassin's Creed Shadows or whatever came out, and then, like, immediately the discussions with Tencent started.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was so funny. Tencent is getting a stake in Ubisoft now because they just can't do it anymore. We're frigged. Pretty soon, you're going to have indie titles, and you're going to have everything else that's not an indie game made by one or two people is going to be owned by Tencent or Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just can't make any money otherwise. It is impossible. So, with that out of the way, let's check out what the best and worst of 2024 had in store for us when the year passed and we played those games. Or didn't. because some of them are so bad you can't really play them. Some of them you cannot play. Do you know that? There's one of these games that cannot be played, and I kind of wish I bought it or something so I could have it. Yeah. It'd be so cool to have a box copy of one of these games. What's that game? It's not Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. It's not that. It's not Marathon.
Is it?
It's not Marathon. There's something in the middle though. There's a middle one.
Wasn't there? Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like grapes, Concord grapes.
What's the best game of 2004?
We always do these retro reviews. We're hungry for games that came out 20 years ago. And increasingly, as we get older, 20 years ago seems closer and further away. It's weird how that works out. What was the best game of 2004?
Well, when I think of 2004, Half-Life 2 is always what comes out of my mouth.
I remember when Half-Life 2 wasn't out, and this is what I like to call one of the bus ride games, where you know how you're coming home from school and sometimes they're playing the radio on the bus. I don't know if you ever took the bus, but I was a bus child. I was a bus boy, and you would hear sometimes the game would be so popular it would break into the normie sphere on the radio.
Yeah.
And I was coming home from school, and they were talking about Half-Life 2 on the radio. Came up somehow. It was a big deal at the time. And of course, the entire game was basically leaked, and they had to completely delete it and start again or some shit halfway through. It was insane to think about that. The game was basically finished and then stopped and then deleted and started again. And it ended up as good as it was. Half-Life 2, games... An important part in something's greatness, for better or for worse, is impact. Right? Half-Life 2, beyond just being fun to play, has a huge impact in that it is one of these earlier examples of a physics, a game that's not a physics-based game but has physics in it.
Right.
So it's establishing that physics can be an important part of an experience that's not a puzzle game. Right? And it kind of ushered in this era of you're playing a game like a shooter or any other kind of game, some kind of adventure, and you kind of expect physics to be there. I think that's because of Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
I think that's the main takeaway here. It's not a physics game, but it's there and brings you into the world so much more.
Yeah, they sold physics to the industry. They sold the idea of physics.
And you can kind of look at Doom 3 similarly that way with like real-time lighting.
Yeah.
It was really pushing that at the time. And
yeah, Doom 3 had a lot of lamps that you bump into. And lights flashing on and off.
Yeah.
And it had the flashlight, of course.
And yeah, at that time we were really seeing a lot of new innovative features that would become standard, and I don't know if we're really seeing that now. Like, ray tracing doesn't seem standard unless you're playing Doom, the Dark Ages. Is it true that you can't turn it off in that?
It is true. I think, at first ray tracing was like, it wasn't impressive enough, I don't think, to make the same impact as Half-Life 2. It took like a longer time to really get going. And now in Dark Ages, you can't turn it off. And so it might be the first AAA game where that's the case.
Well, is it not that much of a performance impact if it's on the id Tech engine?
I don't know. id Tech engine's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because is that why you don't have to? They don't feel they need the option because it's just id Tech is good enough to handle it.
I guess, like, they say the game runs well, but you need a GPU that's ray trace capable in the first place. So anything from before, like, 6 or so years ago, then you're shit out of luck.
Well, Half-Life 2, I don't know if this, like, didn't they recently, like, get rid of, like, the PhysX onboard GPU physics processing?
NVIDIA did, yeah.
physics or whatever. Did Half-Life 2 use physics?
I don't think Half-Life 2 used physics.
It's yeah.
Physics was for like a lot of small objects with like simple collision.
Yeah, Source Engine.
Source Engine is like that's baked in.
Like that.
I don't think it uses any GPU stuff for that.
No.
But it was like that back then. That's when they were starting to use shaders for everything, and Half-Life 2. It was one of those games that used shaders for everything, and since then, devs were like, "All right, this is the way we're doing it from now on."
Yeah, I know. I know people complain about why does the water always look the same now in every game.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, it's because
they're just copying the same code from the previous project.
Everything is shader based, right? It used to, a long time ago, they would have to come up with creative ideas like, oh, the water, the effect of the water is in the texture, or it's layered, or these things. It's actually shader based now.
You don't have to reinvent the wheel anymore.
Which, yeah, it looks good, but everything looks good. So then everything looks bad.
Yeah.
There's nothing. When everyone's super, no one will be.
Yeah.
That's Half-Life 2. Thanks for making everything super. Fun game, fun shooting, fun adventure. Like it feels like you're on an adventure with this game. And it's effortlessly kind of guides you to where you're going without feeling railroaded.
Yeah.
It's really weird like that.
And it's a good sequel to the first one.
It's funny
which was the same way.
Yeah, it's funny how it works. It's just it's like it feels like you can't see the walls. You're in a linear game, but you can't really feel like you're against a wall.
It's like if you're in a virtual world and you could intuit where the stopping points are, but you can't see them. Like they blend into the world.
Yeah, it's just such a forgotten, not worried about talent to make it feel like you're not blocked in when you are.
Yeah.
So that it feels like it's not an open world game. Good. It's closed world, but it feels like you're not bumping up against invisible walls. And the way the level design is, it feels like the walls would naturally be there. Right? You never feel like you're just, oh, here's the tree I can't get past. That's not a thing in Half-Life 2. And I think that's why it's so cool. That was the best game of 2004, 20 years ago. Because this is the video for the 2024 Game of the Years.
What's your first favorite game that you played in 2024 that did not come out in 2024?
What was your favorite game that you played last year that did not come out in 2024?
Oh,
this is like your runner-up.
I've never been asked that before. I don't think anyone's any complete stranger has asked me such a question before.
Well, sometimes aliens do that. They abduct you and ask you about video games.
You're not an alien, are you?
Well, we're gonna find out at the end of this video. Could be. You don't know.
Okay.
You don't know.
Alright, that's why I need spoilers. But yeah, I've been getting into the Burnout series. Specifically because that one one Smiling Friends episode. Where the...
that's where you saw. I was just thinking, where did I see Burnout Revenge again?
That's exactly what inspired... I'd figured, were those games really that fun?
They were.
And they really are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, they're a very flashy arcade racing game with a lot of destruction, like destructible vehicles, explosions, and high speeds. And something I really appreciate is you gain boost by driving on the wrong side of the road and making near misses and destroying rival cars. And Burnout Revenge, like the taking it to the next level, it's faster, it looks better, and when you get destroyed by someone, you get bonus points if you destroy them. And it's kind of like, it's like a car fighting game more than anything. Yeah, and I remember renting them and being impressed by like the crash modes and stuff. And
I bet you it's just unbelievable that it's a PS2 game as well.
I just want to like.
I bet.
Yeah, I want them to come back now, because like there's nothing like that anymore. You don't have your arcade racers that flashy anymore. But something I noticed though, you can see the EA rot starting to leak in with Burnout Revenge, because like you start it up, it's the EA logo. Then you get to the menu, there's an EA logo in the corner. Then the loading screen has an EA logo in the corner. And you can tell, oh, let me check Wikipedia. Yes, Burnout Revenge is the last orthodox Burnout game. Then they started getting weird, and then they just vanished off the face of the earth.
Yeah, EA
the studio got liquidated, and everyone else is just doing other stuff at other studios now.
No. Why does EA, these companies, do that? They hoover up, they suck up into the mothership, pun intended, these little devs, these studios, will suck them up, and then, oh, we got the IP, this is so cool, and we'll trick them. We're just going to trick them. We'll trick players into kind of buying into our version of it. We'll give them 1 or 2 good games, and then the third game has vastly less content, and was developed in half the time. And then the fourth game will be the final game in the series, and then we might come back with a phone game. We might come back
They love their bullshit phone games.
We might come back.
Look nothing like the original.
We might come back with an online-only game that you have to. You start off with no cars. You need to buy a car pack.
I think
you're gonna have to buy a pack.
I think Burnout Paradise was literally that. I think it was online only.
Oh, yep.
And it's lost media.
Of course it is.
I know the crew is, but
you know what? Good. Good that it's lost media. Good.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Let it rot.
Go away.
Let it burn. Burn it down.
I hope EA is lost media soon.
Yeah. Yeah, be careful what you wish for.
EA, get rid of them. Everything. It's just like you can't find an example where it's not true.
Yeah.
Like Microsoft, EA, Activision, whatever. You can't find an example where this doesn't happen. It's not like it's a rare thing. It's every time. Everything suffers. It just gets worse because, I don't know, eat too many cooks in the kitchen. Trying to spread the IP so thin.
Yeah.
I don't know, just bringing in people that were not the original developers and bringing them in and just, we're just going to add in...
Ship of Theseusing your studio.
We're Theseusing this whole bitch up. So we're kind of the original devs, except every single person has been replaced. And people don't understand this still. People who should know better don't understand this. Like when people say, the original devs are back. Bungie. We'll just use, I'll just pick a random example out of the ether. Let's just say Bungie. For no reason at all. Random example. Bungie, like how many people at Bungie are the Bungie developers? I bet you none. I bet you
could count them.
I bet you there's like 2 people, and it's like I was an artist on one game, and I was an interface sound designer on one of the web portals for one game.
I'm not sure the artists are still around.
Oh yeah,
that would be bad news.
Yeah, maybe. Well, yeah. Artists. We mean people in another country that just scrambled the whole internet into one RAR file, and then put on a USB drive and snail mailed it to America and said, "Here you go." And they just slopped it together on all the assets. We're done. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an artist. Anyway, Burnout Revenge. Somehow it's a PS2 game, which I say about every PS2 game, because if you look back at the memory constraints we had, it's amazing that a game ran.
When you think about it, like everything is amazing.
I know every old game is amazing.
Like San Andreas. Like what the hell? How do you do that?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
So yeah, this game has the same speed. Like it has the same sense of speed as like F-Zero GX. Like it's that fast, and it's loading all these buildings and assets, and like it's all streaming them in. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's Burnout Revenge. Check it out at your nearest PS2.
Should be in there.
Yeah, just look in the... It should be under Burnout.
No, ask your landlord. You should have it.
Hello, landlord. Do you have Burnout Revenge? Yep, here it is right here. I got it right here. No problem. Here you go. There you go. And then the building falls over because that was a load-bearing game. That was a load-bearing PS2 game box. No, you can't have it.
No, Xenosaga was in there, and that's a load-bearing disc.
it's the disc is
as soon as you take it out,
vertical.
The thing splits in half, and the whole building falls.
The disc is vertically and vibrating, holding up the building.
Yeah.
That PS2 disc,
making Half-Life 2 noises.
Yeah, it's making source noises. That's so fun in Voices of the Void. When you're standing there and you're because something spawned in somewhere.
Uh-huh.
That's why they let you turn that sound off.
Doesn't Voices of the Void have a fall down button?
I don't remember.
Like, can't you just make yourself? You can make yourself ragdoll.
I can't remember.
Walking.
I played a ton of the game. I can't remember that.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's such a bad horror game because it's so comfy.
Yeah, it's too silly to be a horror game.
It's too comfy. I was just enjoying myself too much, doing nothing, looking out the window.
It's like camping. It's like the fun parts of camping, not the scary parts. You know,
yeah.
They forgot the scary parts.
What's the second favorite game that you played in 2024 that did not come out in 2024?
On the flip side, my runner-up favorite game that didn't come out in 2024, this game came out all the way back in 2000. That thing got remastered 3 or 4 years ago. It's Shadow Man Remastered. Now, you're not supposed to put a game on this list that you technically played before. It has to be the one you discovered in 2024 that did not come out in 2024. But that's a little bit of a lie for me. I played this for 1 second in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
A second. I touched the controller.
Yeah.
So you should probably throw me out of the UFO now for lying. But
yeah, well,
someone else had rented this game for the PS1, and I just saw them playing it, and I moved around for a little bit, and I was like, "This is pretty cool," and that was it. And then 24 years later, I think it came out in 2000, the original game. Maybe I'm wrong, but I finally played through the whole game, and the PS1 version. If you look at the versions and compare them, the PS1 version is so lo-fi and dark and hard to play and just a nightmare. It's like a challenge just to play it. Yeah, but because this was a flagship N64 title. It was meant for the N64, but it also got ported to the Dreamcast, which is probably a good version if I'm just thinking about the hardware in the game. But Shadow Man Remastered is a fantastic port, and I played it on the Switch, and it runs very, very, very well, and you can customize your features for the graphics like it's a PC game.
Mm-hmm.
You can customize, you can make it look all the way back like the old game, or you can make it look like a new game. I made it look like the old game. I don't like crap on the screen. I like when things are crisp.
Yeah.
I like when things are crunchy and crispy and crusty, not blurry, bogged down and creamy.
Like N64.
Yeah, I don't like that. So I kind of made it look like a good-looking Dreamcast game. Probably what my version looked like. You can customize it how you want to. Shadow Man Remastered is for the time it came out, and like I said before with Half-Life 2, impact is a big deal. This game is a very, very futuristic feeling third-person Metroidvania that feels like it's set in the world of Quake, where the world, as it would in a Metroidvania, slowly unravels itself, gives you more shit to do, more shit to find. It's funny. It's got an interesting kind of art style to it. It looks like voodoo. It's like a voodoo style game.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of was really getting into that when I was playing it. And the writing for item descriptions really draws you into it because it's written kind of in a way that it would be written in that world. It's kind of clever how it's done. And it's from Iguana Soft, which I think is a part of Acclaim. So it's a really weird, good Acclaim game, technically, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really, really good. And it has dual wielding. Remember when I showed you this?
Yeah.
You can dual wield. And when you swim and you have something in your left hand, he'll swim with his right hand and he'll veer to the right when he's swimming.
Mm-hmm.
What a weird thing to have in a game.
It's
25 years ago.
Not a bad idea, yeah.
It's interesting.
And if none of your arms are free, you can't climb up ledges.
Yeah.
You need at least one arm.
Yeah, it's so the game is very tactile in that way. And it's, like I said, it's quakey. It's like, it's gross and kind of gory, and it's not, you're not in hell, you're kind of like in a weird, seedy underworld crap land that, it doesn't really get boring to me visually all the way through, unlike Quake, kind of sometimes will be visually boring. But there is sections in Shadow Man where you go back to the real world. And, you do things in the real world, and then you go back to the under planet world, and you do what you want, and it's all very fun. And, I discovered, like in that video I uploaded, there's a little space where you can always get a glitch to work every time. That's reliable, where you can go under the stage, which is kind of fun. I like that. That's Shadow Man Remastered. I think I did like a whole 100% content clear, but you can do one of those crazy ass like imagine getting every coin in Mario 64.
Oh yeah.
Type things. Like it's got one of those types of 100% things where you can go back and
the rare collectathon,
where you can needlessly try to get every little. I didn't do that, but I did.
That's fitting because it's on the N64.
Yeah, but I did do like all the big deal stuff and got everything unlocked. So yeah, and it has old timey cheat stuff that you unlock too, like a big hat and like different costumes and stuff as per what was common in old games. That's Shadow Man Remastered, and it's probably cheap as hell right now. I think it's I think it's on the Kex engine.
It's on the Kex.
I think this is the first of two things in this video that are going to be on the Kex engine.
Oh, that's surprising.
And I know I have 3 or 4 things on the Switch that are on the Kex engine. And maybe I'm wrong, but I think Shadow Man Remastered is on the Kex engine.
What was the first favorite game that came out in 2024 that was not Game of the Year?
Now, this next game I'm going to talk about is on the Kex engine. I had a Unity version of this before, and now I don't. I got this next version free.
They just replaced it.
My favorite game of 2024 that's not the Game of the Year winner, not spoiling it, is the Tomb. They should...
Tomb? Tomb Raider?
No.
Tomb Raider one?
Imagine if the next Doom game's called Tomb. For no reason. I accidentally called it Tomb. Anyway, it's the Doom 1+2 combo can.
Hell yeah.
What happened was the standard version of Doom, well, it was Doom 1, and a separate version that had Doom 2 was the Unity version, right? And they ported to Unity, and that was how they worked on the Switch for me and whatever else. And look at these interesting shadows. Isn't that cool how that works?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a good thing we put something behind to make that shadow believable.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing the UFO came equipped with that.
Mm-hmm.
So Doom, I had Doom 1 and Doom 2. They were separate. I don't know why on the Switch. And this was in 2024. And Doom 1 and 2 didn't originally come out in 2024. But I don't know if you noticed that. They came out a lot earlier than that. But this remaster, if you call it that, port, whatever, came out on the Switch, and it was on Unity. And I bought both of them. And then they updated them to the Kex engine version, which was better. And they combined Doom 1 and 2. And I just turned on my Switch one day, only to find that it had that version for free. So I actually got the new Doom 1+2 combo can edition, Doom, Chop Till You Drop, Doom 1 and 2 together at last for free. And we played online multiplayer. And I think you did it on PC, right?
Yep.
I did it on Switch, cross-platform.
Cross-platform.
No problem.
Good.
It was perfect. And
open mic. It reads out your chat messages.
Yeah.
Drop in multiplayer with mods.
Yeah.
And deathmatch.
Yeah. With
new deathmatch maps.
Yes. And
got everything you need.
Right from the launcher, you can play through Doom 1, Doom 2. You can play through everything up to Final Doom. So all those are like Plutonia, whatever, all that stuff. And then you can play Sigil 2. You can play Legacy of Rust. It's all right there as soon as you boot it up. It's baked right in the crust. As soon as you just take a slice and you look in the crust, and there's the hot dog, and there's the cheese. It's right in the crust.
Mm-hmm.
boot up Doom 1 plus 2, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, it's probably like $3 right
It's
now.
probably, if it's not free, it's probably $1. I don't know. Or maybe you own it. Maybe you own it already. I ended up owning it already. Because
go check.
I already had the original versions of Doom 1 and 2 on the Switch, and they just gave me the new versions on the new engine. It's really, really pathetic that I really was scratching the depths of my brain, possibly digging down beneath the floor of my brain into the next brain below, trying to find out what I played in 2024 that came out in 2024 that was not the game of the year. This was it. Can you believe that? I never played a 2024 game other than UFO 50. It was this was it. Doom 1 and 2.
It's really scraping at the bottom of the barrel. But yeah, something I appreciate about this one is it's a little more, like, it's not vanilla, but it looks vanilla.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a Doom head. I know that Doom look. I know the banding and the exact colors.
You can bring some of that. You can bring some of that back. I think. Can't you turn on the color banding and stuff?
I don't know if you can turn it off.
Drop the internal resolution.
No, I remember people complaining that there was no alternative to the banding, and it was distracting and everything. So I think it's there by default. I think it just has the same color engine, the same rendering as the original.
Yeah. Man, I love that glowing red and blue dot pizza that's inside the mountain in Mount Erebus. You know that level?
Yeah,
with
yeah.
The weird
the
glowing.
Pizza.
What is that?
The pizza tower.
Strange.
Yeah.
Anyway, it just speaks to, like, you know, how expensive shit is, how long shit takes to develop. Like, I bought, like, nothing in 2024, and it's probably going to be the same in 2025. I do have something pre-ordered. I wonder what that game is. But maybe that's just going to be the only thing I play that year. You're probably not playing it because it's exclusive to a certain console that you don't have yet.
Mm-hmm.
But that it's just weird, you know. Like, I remember being younger and, like, playing like 3 or 4 new games in a year.
Yeah.
Like, these are the new games for this year. And, oh man, we got...
just, like, getting them because they were there.
Metroid Prime 2 and Wind Waker and blah, blah.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's, you know, it's just, it's not for not wanting, I want to do it. It's just, the game of the year, when you're here, costed me like $110. But, and that was, $89.99 MSRP plus tax, and now we're looking at more than that.
Yeah.
That's Doom 1 and 2 combo edition. You can get them both at the same time. They got mods, and they got featured mods. Play Going Down. Try that one.
Oh, yeah.
The elevator run, Going Down and Going Down Turbo. If you didn't play that yet, I like that one. It's one of the featured mods that you can get right in the crust with Doom 1 and 2.
What was the second favorite game that came out in 2024 that was not Game of the Year?
So, believe it or not, I played a video game this year too.
I can't believe they put Gatorade inside the UFO for me.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Wait, how'd you drink all that?
No expenses spared.
Are you sure that's Gatorade? Are you sure that's not like BT slime?
Well, I mean, it just came out of the floor. A hole opened up in the floor, and I just reached down, and I got my space Gatorade out of there.
It could be AI generated for all you know.
Yeah, it could be having an AI generated drink. The aliens are so advanced that built this UFO that they AI generate food that they eat.
I wonder which number UFO this is. Like, there's got to be it's got to be part of a series of UFOs, right?
Yeah,
they couldn't have just built one.
No, this is one.
Oh, this is the first one.
The serial number is right there: 00000000000000001.
Oh. So how high do you think they go? Do you think they go all the way up to like a UFO like 40? Yeah, but how do you know that? They could be showing some extra zeros just to be safe.
Yeah, I mean it could.
Because you don't want your ID number to roll over.
Yeah, it could maybe incidentally end at 50. You wouldn't know. This could be.
It does look pretty expensive.
This could be the 50th one.
They could have just only made 50, and
they could have.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe UFO 50 could be out there.
It could be.
But it's not here.
It's not here.
That's for sure.
It's definitely not in this video.
Yeah. Incidentally, yeah, I just...
Wait for this water. Look at this. We perfectly waited for the water to come down.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Yeah, the UFO has plumbing. You'd think that they would invent a way not to have plumbing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they just got the plumbing running right through the ceiling, and...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is that weird, how they did that?
Maybe the 50th one's different.
Yeah, the 50th one is where they brought in the pipeless plumbing.
Yeah.
If you can imagine pipeless plumbing, they got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so in terms of, like, impact and, like, overall quality, I'd say, like, UFO 50 deserves the spot for my favorite game in 2024, but, I mean, I figured I better pick something that reflects my taste, and this says Ocean Man, but, it's actually called, Another Crab's Treasure. I don't know if I like that title, but at least it works. It describes it. But yeah, this is like a cartoonish Souls-like, one of many, and it's sort of like a mix between DS1 and Sekiro, and it gets it has the right idea. It does a couple of interesting things, like you play as a little hermit crab, and your shell is both your shield, your armor. It determines your roll speed and your magic. And it also has health. So when you block, you're destroying your shell. And when you lose a shell, you gotta run and get out of there.
The risk reward.
Yeah, and find, like, most boss rooms will have like 3 shells, like one of each size or something. And it has like unblockables and different types of you can usually tell from the animation whether it's gonna just smash your shield, or if you can block it, or you gotta dodge it, or that's where the Sekiro stuff comes from. And the DS1 is like the role classes and the stats and stuff. Yeah, and it feels nice. It seems like every enemy just like it's kind of by the books, honestly, because every enemy has a overhead and like a swing and like an unblockable and a grab, and that kind of gets old a little bit, but they all take they all take different strategies. It's balanced. Like, it's not it doesn't feel cheap or anything. It's got funny writing, and it's got parrying and all that good stuff.
So this is kind of like an underwater third-person action Souls-like thing?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. In terms of level design, like, it doesn't have that Souls level design, but it's like, it has I guess platforming, because like there's a lot of empty pits, like a lot of bottomless pits. It loves those, and it loves little fortresses, like Elden Ring style.
So this thing just kind of peppered onto the map for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is linear. Like, it's not Elden Ring, but it's like the first level is a little more open, then narrows down, it turns into like DS1 sort of, or DS3 maybe sort of thing. Like, I wouldn't say it's gonna blow you away. But like the plot I like in particular, because
yeah, I heard about the microplastics. That sounds funny. I like that.
It kind of like, how do we turn DS1? How do we turn like a FromSoft plot into something cartoonish? And so, like, the sea creatures, they've been polluted by trash, and they've embraced it, and they've used it to create they used it to improve their society, but the microplastics is making them crazy. And you can absorb microplastics to become stronger. And so, like, it's kind of like humanity versus the trash kind of thing. Like, do we embrace it and succumb to the hollow, or do we
the plastics?
Yeah. So yeah, it's got some funny writing. And I checked out the first game. It's like a it's not quite as interesting because it's like a roguelike. But it has the corporal art style. I love that. It has the freaking huge armed red people.
The Allegria or whatever that name they had for it.
And the purple people with their hair tied up.
Crap,
and yeah.
the
Google style. Yeah.
Oh.
It uses that style, and I've been waiting for an indie game to do that. And yeah, they love their topical like social commentary. And yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's pretty complete too. It's like, I don't know, maybe 15 hours playthrough.
It's reasonable.
Yeah, it's like a $20 game, so
okay,
you can't go wrong with it.
That sounds cool. They should have called it Another Crab's Trash.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like that one episode title from SpongeBob. Where remember when Mr. Krabs has to go get that hat back that SpongeBob reburied with Smitty, Werber, Jaeger, Jensen? Is any of that in the game?
Oh God!
Is any of that reference in the game?
I'm always looking for direct SpongeBob references. Like it's got the vibe of SpongeBob, like, that's for sure.
Mr. Krabs goes to the boneyard and he takes the head off a swordfish and uses like a sword and he like fights his way through skeletons. And I was just wondering, is that in that game in some way where there's some kind of instance where he does that? And...
Man, I wish.
The names are similar. Another Crab's Trash, or whatever this game is called.
Another Crab's Treasure.
Yeah, and then the SpongeBob episode that's called Another One Crab's Trash, or something like that.
Yeah.
All right. What was the second best game of 2024?
So our collective Game of the Year runner-up for the first time ever in this channel's history is a DLC. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you could vote for this at the Game Awards. So it's fair game.
Yeah.
This is big enough where it feels like it's a new game almost. It's like 30% of Elden Ring. 20 to 30. Like you get a lot for what you pay for.
It's so big that it feels like the design principles behind Shadow of the Erdtree are slightly different, almost like it's a sequel.
Yeah, it's got a very vertical kind of map to it. It's the traversal of the world is harder than in Elden Ring. This is Shadow of the Erdtree. This is where I think it takes place in the past. It's hard to figure these things out. I'm not a lore master.
Like, I know it's an alternate realm.
Yeah, it feels like you're...
They were saying in Elden Ring that Mikola fled the realm, and like he's just not there anymore. And this is where he went. I don't know what the hell that means.
I can't... Yeah, because you...
Like, does it exist? Is it just like if you sailed off from like the lands between, would you reach this place, or
so spoilers?
Is it just gone?
Spoilers, kind of a boss you fight in the base Elden Ring. You fight a different or earlier version of them in this game. So what's that mean?
Jeez, I don't want to spoil.
Hold on,
but...
let's not spoil it. Yeah. Let's just say, go watch your 30-hour lore video.
Yeah, exactly.
Just look up Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree lore.
It's better if you don't think about it and just absorb the vibe.
And then listen to the first 20 minutes and then fall asleep. And then wake up after 15 hours, 15-hour depression nap, and then wake up and it's still on.
And then you'll dream about the game, and that'll be your lore video. Like just the dream you've had.
Source, it came to me in a dream. It was revealed to me in a dream. I'm waiting for a Dark Souls tuber to say like something like that. What is your source for why you think that blah 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 blah? It was revealed to me in a dream.
The way you said that was pretty convincing.
End of.
I'd
End
buy
of
it.
discussion.
I'd buy it.
Shadow of the Erdtree, it has a different progression system than the base game of Elden Ring. You collect little scrappy-doo segments, and you can play on max turbo difficulty without collecting them, or you can collect them to make yourself stronger. So it's okay for people to go into the DLC with different kind of characters. Like, you can go in balls to the wall and try to play without getting any boosts that are in the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can play the DLC and get a bunch of boosts. But what's weird is that the boosts are tied behind finding little objects.
Yeah.
Which is not something that's been in Souls ever.
Mm-hmm.
Which may put people off. This was the one weird thing. I didn't know how fun it was, really, when I was playing it, to just look for little objects. I didn't really want to.
It's the fact that,
do that.
Any little glowing item thing could be a seed, and it's just not...
It's like, it reminds me, it smacks of finding Korok seeds.
Yeah.
Which...
I think they're seeds, too. I think they're literally seeds.
Yeah, Korok seeds.
I wonder if you get them all, you get a little piece of poop.
Yeah, you get nothing. Here you go.
Yeah.
Congratulations for collecting all the Korok seeds. You get nothing.
Here's Mikola's poop. Here's your shrimp. That's what that is.
So if you were looking for more Elden Ring, and you probably were, you can get it here. Elden Ring is the gift that keeps on shitting, and we're just here to just sit at the end of the pipe and consume the shit forever until we die in a sea of roll slop.
Mm-hmm.
That is the fate of every FromSoft player.
Yes,
that's
indeed.
it. And shamefully, it looks like the Duskbloods, or whatever it's called, is not a single-player game. I don't want to count it out, but it smells a little bit. It's a little bit smelly, and it's making me think twice about just buying Elden Ring Night Rain, which is coming soon. If I'm just going to be playing another one, why am I just going to be playing Night Rain again with the Duskbloods? What are you talking about?
That's really what bugs me about it.
Why do we have two?
Duskbloods would have been fine. Night Rain would have been fine. The fact that Night Rain is a spin-off implies that, this is the only one that's this style, but then they made an original game that's in the same style. And so why'd you make Night Rain?
I don't know, and Miyazaki is involved with Duskbloods. Like, he's more excited about that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, hey, C-Team, I see you got a cool idea on your desk. Night Rain, some kind of Fortnite thing. Yeah, you can slop it up into Elden Ring, that's fine. And then, I hate him so much, I'm going to make my own version. And then Miyazaki snuck away and made the Duskbloods.
Yeah.
I wonder which one will be better. So, I mean, it remains to be seen if I'm going to play the second DLC, Night Rain. But, because it costs money. And I have a Switch 2 coming, which cost me a lot of money that I don't have I had temporarily. I had temporal money. That is now in the ether. But, yeah, it's interesting. But Shadow of the Erdtree, I think it crosses the line into being a good enough DLC that is notable.
Yeah.
It's notable.
It's like the Bloodborne DLC.
Yeah, the old Hunters or whatever it's called.
Mandatory.
Yeah, you have to play this.
Yeah.
That being said, that's probably why most people kind of considered it a contender for Game of the Year.
Yeah. It's got the length of a proper game.
It feels like it's its own game.
Yeah.
And graphically, even on this, it's running on the same hardware. It looks better. Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's just a little bit more style to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Just there's a little bit of extra something.
More biomes,
Yeah, it's a little bit more clever with its visuals.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that.
What's the worst game of 2024?
We're holding out on you a little bit. We're not giving you the Game of the Year yet. What's up there? Something up there in the corner?
I don't know. I'm just keeping an eye on that spot. I don't know. That spot in particular is pretty specific. Sussy. Kind of sussy.
Specific became sussy.
Yeah.
Specious.
Specific.
It could have been specific.
It's specific.
There's a hole, I think, in the UFO over there. The air.
Really?
I think the air's getting up.
Oh.
Go put a piece of gum over it.
Nah. I think we're good.
No, I don't feel like fixing the hole in the UFO. I don't feel like fixing the hole in the spaceship. I'm alright. I'm good. We'll be fine.
I don't like UFO 1. I want to see UFO 50.
Maybe one day we'll see UFO 50 show up. But for now, we're going to tease you a little bit more with the worst game of 2024. Here's my little poem for today.
This might be a shock.
Yeah, what is the worst game of 2024? Well, it qualifies as a game. You could play it.
Can you?
You can hit a button on the controller, and something happens on the screen.
Are you sure about that?
Well,
Like
the
now?
historical records seem to indicate that could happen. I've never seen a game be so dead on arrival, dead before arrival, dead in the womb, freaking dead DNA. This is Concord. This was announced right around kind of like when Microsoft was working up Starfield. A lot of people were excited about this because they thought that, oh my gosh, this is going to be like the Sony version of Starfield. This is going to be so cool. It's going to be blah, blah. And the original teaser trailer did not reveal in any way what kind of game this was. And this is falling in that genre. We have a new genre of game now. Mm-hmm. It's not live service. It's not games as a service. It's not looter shooter. It's not arena shooter. It's not hero shooter. What it is a brand new genre called, I'm going to call it a world shooter, where what you do is you spend $50 million in 3 years carefully, meticulously CGI designing a world and characters that are just in a shooter, that are in a multiplayer only shooter. Mm-hmm. Concord looked so good. The graphically mind-blowing world design and characters that we designed right when our competitor was making Starfield, which ended up being garbage. It would have been a freaking slam dunk to make this a role-playing game. Would have been bodied the entire thing, but they couldn't do it. They would have freaking rolled them up and then threw them across the court and got a hole-in-one. Whatever you call it in basketball. I don't know if they got a hole-in-one in basketball. But imagine Charles Barkley just turning Starfield into a little transformer and just flicking them across the court into the basketball net and then bounce out of the net and then back into the net and score 100 times. That's what would have happened if Concord was an RPG or something. But that's not what happened. Concord, for all of its world design, ended up being a world shooter in which you were in an arena that no one wanted to play. Oh boy, a hero shooter. Man, is this 2013? Bruh, it's like 2012, bruh. We can play around in a hero shooter. You pick your hero and they're all quirky. Mm-hmm. They're so quirky. They're so quirky. Hip and happening.
Yeah.
They're so totally with it in the year 2015. They're with it. Right? They got the panache. Mm-hmm. Oh wait, what?
What?
Wait a minute. It says here it's 2024. What do we do?
Wait, how far ahead is that? That's almost 10 years.
Yeah, we've been developing this game for 4 years now. We don't know what to do. What do we do? We bought the studio.
Can we at least make a trailer?
We bought the studio outright just for no reason. We sunk $400 million in this. We can do a trailer. Maybe that'll save it. Maybe we can save it with a trailer. No, you can't. Because you could see the exact moment where it died. You can see the exact moment where its heart broken too. You can go frame by frame and see where it's heartbroken to. And you can see the exact moment in my own short. I think it was a short I made about where I watched the Concord reveal trailer. And you can see like the exact moment where I just said, this is canceled. This is canceled. This is so canceled. I don't get paid any money. I don't make any money. And I probably could have told them, here's how you can save a quick $300+ million. Let me tell you, cancel it now. Don't release it.
Give it to me instead.
Just don't release it. Just change it. Don't do it. I could have saved you hundreds of millions of dollars. Anybody could have. It makes no sense. The game makes no sense. It's like a candidate for a conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a conspiracy theory? Like the game was never meant to come out, and it was some kind of weird tactic to launder money? Is that what this game is? Is that what Concord was? It came out. It's a hero shooter that nobody wanted. Every single metric of the game, every single atom in its soul was outdated the moment it was born. It lasted for 10 days. It was taken offline. Like a freaking tax break. Gone. It's the most embarrassing disaster since E.T.
Yeah, in terms of flops.
You're in E.T., the extraterrestrial on Atari. You're in that camp when you get to this point. Isn't that crazy?
It just seems like, even if it was the biggest piece of shit in the planet, like it should have did better than it did. You're in
world-ending territory.
Yeah.
If you were at Sony and you saw this, what would you be thinking? Like, what would you be? Oh my god!
Like triple-digit players multiple days after it came out.
No one on Earth played it. It's like I made a Concord video. I felt so bad. I made like a downright apologetic video for it. Like I made a video just about the cutscenes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the last cutscene for they had this idea where like every week a new story cutscene would come out. And the last story, the first like 3 or something were fine. And I could get them from the official site or whatever. The last one I had to get from a YouTuber. I had to scramble it from their video. I had to, because it didn't officially come out.
Mm-hmm.
They never got that far. It never got to the week where that cutscene came out, and this guy saw it and recorded it. It never got to the game never lasted to the point where it had an official release. So the final cutscene is not officially out, but I got it.
They were getting ready for a service. Or it was going to be a big thing.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't going to be a big thing. You could just tell looking at it.
How do we fix it? How do we fix this?
You can't. It's gone. I think.
Now we gotta like reimburse everyone for the game.
They got
because we shut it down.
They got it has an official PS5 controller. They had all the shit going ready for it. They had Concord has a segment in that video series about games. You know how there was that TV show that came out where it had a section about different video games?
Mm-hmm.
Concord had a section in that.
Yeah.
They just bought and AstroTurfed it into reality. AstroTurf, that's what they should have called this game, AstroTurf. The whole game is just fake. It's fake, and it's just so weird that we're like 3 games deep into this now, this crap. And I'm blaming Herman Hulst. He came from Guerrilla Games. He got AstroTurfed into popularity through Horizon Zero Dawn, the most AstroTurf game ever. I don't know if it's really that popular. They kept selling it in bundles, the PS4s.
Mm-hmm.
I have my doubts about how popular that shit is, good or not. I don't know. I have my doubts, but and then he became the co-CEO of PlayStation, and I heard he got demoted after Concord. I don't know. I heard that, but they said that I don't. It's so hard to blame some specific person, which is exactly why these companies fail. You can't blame anybody, because every time you say it's your fault, well, I got 14 people under me that all kind of mumbled the idea into my brain and went with it. That's why these things fail. Herman Hulst, I think, had I want to say 8 live service games coming in the pipes.
I think the number was 8, yeah.
And then Sony, I guess, canceled a few of them already. Concord fails. what's it called? Fair Game?
Fair Games, yes.
That's canceled 100%. It's not canceled, but I guarantee you it is. They just lost the director, I think. But yeah, so the reality is you can't have these. Nobody wants to play like live service stuff. It's over. It's over. You got to make your money some other way. I know it's impossible, but you have to figure out how to sell crap to people that's cheap and is developed cheap, because I know human beings don't buy single player games anymore. They don't, they just don't. So you got to figure out how to make a good multiplayer game. I don't know how, but here's a tip: do this shit. Buy a developer that's already halfway through making their stupid crap. Give them $500 million, and then make another really cool, slick-looking trailer, and then cancel it after 10 days. That's my idea for how to make a bunch of money. Do that. You'll listen. You'll listen to that. Do that. That's Concord. It was a hero shooter.
Was it, though? Is it now?
I don't
Probably
know.
not.
It's a dead shooter. Oh my god, they couldn't even let it live in zombie mode for a year.
Uh-huh.
They couldn't even do a Suicide Squad.
Yeah, they had to return everyone's money.
They were like, holy... Yeah, some genius at Sony was like, finally said, no, this is crazy.
Yeah, we have to
This
bail.
is freaking crazy.
We gotta bail.
Some guy who had 101 IQ finally just like, oh, okay, yeah. Holy shit.
Can't let the nightmare go on.
Oh my god, the nightmare must end. He's delivering a monologue of a nearly dead hero dying at the end of the movie. This nightmare must end. Somehow, this nightmare must end.
What's Game of the Year for 2024?
So, our Game of the Year, we had different experiences with it, because I played it on PS5, and when you buy something retail at PS5, you put it in and you lay down and you just freaking go through it. But other people will play things on PC or something like that and get distracted by Microsoft Paint. Mm-hmm. Or get distracted by that funny maze wallpaper screensaver. Isn't that funny? I could watch that for hours. I get distracted when I play things on PC, but not when I play on PS5. I get the game and I play all the way through. And this was FF7 Rebirth. Yeah, it's the sequel to Remake. It's the second part of this 3-part bonanza that is not. We thought, like, when this was announced, there's no way they can do it. They're in fact doing it, and not only that, they're doing that and more. They're adding content. It has more than the original game. It's not necessarily to its benefit, because if you looked at the content that that would naturally be included in the second part of a 3-part Final Fantasy VII Remake series, you would probably guess that there's enough in here already. There's a lot in here. We don't really need to pad it out that much, but this game is as fun as it is to play, and as much as I loved it, and I did 100% it, but it was like harder than Elden Ring to freaking... Elden Ring's not that hard. The meme is that you say Dark Souls hard. Okay, if you're on the internet, you just say Dark Souls, Dark Souls, Dark Souls, Dark Souls. Mm-hmm. God. Anyway, it was really hard to 100% this. I think it took years off my life. I think it was like smoking. Every smoke you take takes 5 minutes off your life.
Yeah.
Well, every time you 100% FF7 Rebirth, it takes 5 years off your life. I took damage.
Did you feel it? As soon as you hit 100%?
Yeah, I just almost, I was like, oh my god, I'm not going to live as much longer after this. Because it was so time-consuming and hard.
Yeah, you're making it sound real appealing.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
You should all play it. And, I mean, like I said, I already prefaced this by saying I don't buy that much stuff anymore because I can't. But this is the thing I had to play, and I did play it. And there's a lot of great things to be said. It looks great. It plays great. It feels great. The attention to detail is immense. The experience, if you have played the original game, the experience that you have playing will be good. It's not exactly 1-to-1, for better or for worse. Turns out it's for worse actually sometimes, because you have to deal with timelines. Don't we all have timelines? That's so cool. Like, imagine if there was another timeline where you were bald and I wasn't. That would be so sick.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Oh man. Sadly, that's not what's happening. We're just in the
I'd be
one
like
timeline.
Rude.
Yeah, we have to deal with one timeline.
There's shades and
we have to deal with how normal people live in one timeline, and they can't do all this nonsense that you can do when you're writing a plot. But anyway, this is kind of like a de facto game of the year for me. Is FF7 Rebirth, and that's the official game of the year for this year. Sadly,
it's the closest thing to a game.
It's the closest thing we're gonna get.
Yeah,
I racked my brain over this. This is a hard list to come up with because of this. This is what it has to be. We gave FF7 Remake Game of the Year a few years ago. That was a much easier Game of the Year to give out than this one. This game is pound for pound better. It has to be better. It just is better. But there is, like I said, it is very, very padded out. My recommendation would be to just play through the story for everyone who wants to play it. Just don't go crazy. Don't just play through the plot. You don't have to do everything. Mm-hmm. But I did everything like a madman. And
I guess we can spoil one thing.
What?
The open world stuff is not going to get better.
Yeah, it's not.
It's all the same. I think like the things that the developments that the open world format have like experienced in the last like 15 years or so, like they were lost on it. Mm-hmm. Like we're back in Ubisoft territory.
Yeah, it is. There's Ubisoft towers.
And they're
I wish
markers.
They weren't there, but I don't know how you're going to get around that. Like, I don't know what. How do we defeat that with this? Like, what do we do?
I don't know. You could just like get rid of the parts, so you just have to press triangle 3 times.
Yeah, that definitely.
And get rid of the turn the towers into something else, like a world boss or something.
Yeah.
Palette swap.
Yeah, there is bosses in the world and stuff too.
Yeah, there are. They're already there. They're just not like they're not events. You know, they're not world. They're not markers. They're not things to tick off.
Yeah. The reality of the situation is that for everything you get with this, you do get the weird wandering around the world map and Ubisoft towers. That's the number one thing, and it's almost just that it's a tower. It's almost that it's a tower that hurts it.
Yeah, I guess.
People are so tired of it because Assassin's Creed did it. It was like, oh, that's what we're doing now. Sonic Frontiers has it better.
Yeah.
Sonic Frontiers did it better. Sonic Frontiers just do a little mini game, and you look at the map and it fills in some squares around that.
Yeah.
So, if you look at this with its open world design, it does have biomes. I like that. I like the transition to biomes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I liked how it was kind of like the old game where you walked around in an area, you did a story thing, and then you were at a different area of the map.
Yeah.
That's how it was in the original game. I like that here. So you'll be in this open area, then you'll do a dungeon, and you'll come out in a new area. Then you do a dungeon, you'll come out in a new area, and so on and so forth. I did like that. Like I said, the biomes were cool. It's going to be cool going to the snow biome. I know this is not a review for part 3. This is for part 2.
You might as well review part 3.
But part 3,
so you know what it's going to be like.
Part 3 has to have the airship and the submarine.
Mm-hmm. It has to have both.
Remember when we were talking about remaking, thinking about how it would be impossible to do all the shit they need to do in part 2, and then they kind of did it?
Yeah.
Part 2 has the tiny Bronco.
It's not. They don't just need an open world. They need an open world with an airship. And that's all sorts of problems.
The tiny Bronco was fun enough, like Wind Wakering around a little bit.
Yeah.
It's remarkable that you get it, and it's remarkable that it comes at the right time for where you can just go wherever you want. Like they kind of they changed around when you get Sid, so that the tiny Bronco plays more of a role in this game. That's probably smart. So it's not missing anything really, except for the chocobo breeding, which should be in part 3. But I'm sure if you look really closely, it's missing some shit. But I don't feel like going back. I don't feel like going back to it right now. But part 3 is on the horizon, and Square Enix said that they specifically said they're not chickening out in the airship. They've already put their chips on the table. Yeah. They said they're not going to trick it. So I wonder what's going to happen. I'm genuinely curious what's going to happen with that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where you can land the ship. Can you land it anywhere? Because
I don't know. Maybe the world, when you get on the airship, you can go way past the world map. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can go way farther than the world map.
I can see it doing that thing where it fades to mist, and then you appear on the other side of the map.
As long as it works. I'm not super...
It's probably going to work, whatever they do.
I'm not super worried about, like, a 1-to-1 transition real time between one play. I'm not, like... I'm not this purist about this thing where it doesn't stop. Like, I'm not interested in this idea that, we can get off and land and do what we want and then get back and there's no transition. There's no, if you think about that, there is no artistic or gameplay advantage in that. It doesn't do anything. You're doing that to, I don't know, flex? Yeah. What's the point in that?
That would just be a flex.
What is the point in that? If you think about it hard enough, that's a flex and not a feature. If you really think about it. And, like, to run it back to Starfield again, like, the problem with Starfield wasn't that you couldn't just fly to this other planet and land on it and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's not
there was too much focus on that.
That's not the problem. That's not why it's bad that you can't do that. The problem is that when you have a Bethesda-style RPG where you go from surface of the planet to space to another planet, and it's all fast traveling along the way, it becomes a menu game. That's the problem. You just go fast travel here, fast travel here, fast travel there, blah, 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 and the mission is done in 5 minutes.
It becomes like no different from Mass Effect in that case.
You're not on an adventure. And I think when people think of a Bethesda RPG, they don't know that the secret reason they like it is the weird walk to the thing that you need to do. The secret reason why you like these Bethesda RPGs is because you get a quest, and then you go on a weird janky walk all the way to the thing, and then do it. When you play Starfield...
Because otherwise it's just a menu.
When you play Starfield, your adventure is the menu. So I think that's the secret issue. It's not that there's some bullshit about, you can't fly all the way to the planet. It doesn't matter if you can or can't. What matters is that there's no quest. There's no adventure. And space is the most adventurous place in the world. Yeah, space is in the world. Space, look outside you. Space is the most adventurous thing that is so far been discovered, and you make it not adventurous. But in FF7 Rebirth, you do walk where you need to go. There is sights to see. There is things to do. There is enemies to fight. And what you're doing is you're giving me these RPG characters I grew up with, and you're just letting me play and walk around in real time together on the map and fight things. And that's got to be worth something. And it was, like I said before, the game is fun. The fighting is very fun.
Yeah,
I just want to do that forever.
I want the system, they gotta do what they did with the original ATB, where, alright, the next 7 Final Fantasy games are like this.
What was the first ATB game? 4? Was it 4?
It would have been 4, yeah. I
think so, yeah. And then 4, 5, 6, 7 all use ATB.
9, 10, 11, yeah.
8, 9.
No, not 9.
Not 10. FF 4, 5, 6, 7.
Wait, 9, yes.
8, 9. All use ATB, and then 10 uses conditional turn-based.
Yeah.
Which is better. But, just decide, you know what, Square Enix? We're just like, okay, this is it. This is what we're using. We got. We're gonna name it.
You figured it out.
We're gonna name it BTB base turn based.
Base turn based. Yeah.
It just rolled off the top of the dome. It was base turn based. This is it. We got it. We invented it with FF7 Remake, and we kept it with Rebirth. We made it 1% too complex at Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
Walk it back a little bit, and we're just going to use that for the next 10 games. Okay, we're good. We got it.
Yeah.
People should look back at those earlier Final Fantasy games, and what their first instinct and surprise should be when they look at them is that, wow, these games are so different, but they have the same battle system.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that weird?
They're
kind of something that's notable.
It's almost like with 4, 5, 6, it's almost like they remade the same thing from the ground up with new knowledge.
Yeah.
And the result is like 5 and 6.
They're so different.
Yeah.
But yet, it's just ATV. And 12 even has ATV.
Yeah,
you just move around in it.
Uh-huh.
If you think about it, it's very, very close to ATV. It's more close to 8. If you look at 10 and 12, your instinct would be that 12 is more different than 9 than 10 is, but it's not true. 10's way different from 9.
Yeah,
12 is closer to 9 than 10 is.
12 has a little bar go up when you do something.
An ATB bar is in 12, but it's not in 10. Doesn't work like that. So yeah, it's sometimes it's okay to do what you did before. You know, sometimes...
Yeah, I think Square has to relearn that.
Sometimes it's okay to just not pad shit out. If you have the level of content that is already existing in Final Fantasy VII is what it is in the old version, you don't need to hold triangle to turn a pipe.
Mm-hmm.
You do not need it. What's it there for? You're not hiding any loading anymore. This is doing nothing. I can't understand why you would want to do that. There's a moment where you shimmy between something in Final Fantasy 16, and if you play the game on arcade mode, you can skip that.
Oh my god.
So what's it there for?
The remakes would never do that. They like... The remakes have chapter select, but they still make you shimmy. When you pick a chapter to play, like, arcade style, like, I'm gonna practice this to master it. But no, I gotta weasel my way through these rocks
It's true, though. I couldn't believe what I was saying. In 16, I played a level again on arcade mode. And, as soon as the shimmy started, I could just mash through it.
Okay.
It's not real. It was just there to, I don't know, hide the room that I had to go to, so you couldn't see it. What the hell is that? Make it a door. I'd rather a door.
Make the reveal of the room more dramatic or something.
I don't know. I don't like the shimmy. But evidently it's not loading anything with the shimmy, so I doubt it's doing it in Rebirth. And so here's some pointers for Part 3. We're giving this Game of the Year now, but Part 3 better not have a ton of padding. You have Chocobo breeding, the High Wind, the Submarine, 3 weapons to fight, Icicle area, you have Bone Village, you have Wutai, you have Rocket Town. You have the Northern Crater, you have the final boss. You don't need to add anything.
You don't need to press buttons in the right timing to unlock something.
You need a Chocobo breeding. Keep everything in the Gold Saucer can stay. It's the Gold Saucer. It's fine. You don't have to be there. You can leave it the way it is, but you have to put in Chocobo breeding. You have enough. You don't need every 5 minutes reveal a new minigame. Like FF7 Rebirth, you go 5 minutes and they're introducing you to a complicated minigame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whoa, what's going on? How did you guys develop this? How did you guys do this? How long did this take? Holy, they must have been working just around the clock to get this game done. The amount of mini games in this, I forget them all.
Costa del Sol is like the minigame hub, and
like, then you get another
it's not
one.
Even Gold Saucer. Gold Saucer isn't the minigame hub. It's actually Costa del Sol.
Costa del Sol has so much shit to do.
It has more minigames than Gold Saucer does.
But Gold Saucer has the motorcycle. It has the Chocobo racing.
The games in Gold Saucer are more polished, of course. But like, I'm just blown away by that because like it just keeps going.
How did it? It is a remarkable achievement to have this much content in a game, like, it's notable just for that. Just to try it and just realize that you're 1% through the game and you've encountered 17 minigames.
Sorry.
And the game itself is not short.
Yeah.
It's not short. And it has dungeons and it has boss fights, and they're not that easy. And you have to actually think about what you're doing to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's gonna be people are gonna remember this game for like just the comical amount of pacing problems.
Yeah.
They don't care. They do not care. Whatever. They just you start the game off. If you never played Remake or the original, you're starting this game off with a team of 5 people that are all playing completely different. And before you get to walk around, they taught you how to play Queen's Blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is this? What's going on?
Yeah.
I remember just being shocked by this. This is insane.
Yeah, like I remember.
It's funny.
I remember the culture shock of starting with 5 characters, just being like,
how does this work? How do you supposed to learn this?
This is more characters than I had ending the previous game.
You start off, you get Cloud,
because you
Tifa,
have Red,
Aerith, Barrett. Yeah, that's how many you have. 4, right? Am I wrong? Cloud, Tifa.
You get
Barrett,
Red pretty quickly,
Aerith,
I think.
Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, Barrett, Red. That's 5 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as you leave to go on your adventure, you leave Calm. You have 5 people that you have to. That are all very different from each other. That you can switch to in real time in battle, and they don't work even kind of the same.
Mm-hmm.
And they just figured it out.
Oh yeah, and a full set of materia too. On everyone. Everyone has materia. And that's after the flashback where everyone has a different set of materia.
Yeah, you play a flashback.
You find materia that you can't keep in the flashback.
You know what? Maybe it's a good thing that they didn't worry about pacing.
Yeah.
Because if they did, it would break the story.
Uh-huh.
It wouldn't make sense. Maybe. Yeah, maybe they're right.
You kind of have to go at your own pace. Like whether you no life it because you have a PS5 and you have nothing else to play, or if you take a leisurely pace because you have a Steam Deck that's full of good games. That's full of good games right now because the games are small.
That's right.
And you have more. You can ingest the story a little better.
Yeah, that's right. So that's FF7 Rebirth, and it's Game of the Year, whether I like it or not. Wow, it's a good thing we're humans and not aliens.
I love being human.
What's up, guys? This is Swap Boy. We found a sick-ass dead body here. We're gonna see what's up. Hey, man, you okay? You alive? He's not alive, fellas. Can you get a hype in chat? That's unbelievable. Look, it's still warm. Looks like we're not protecting the Earth today. But you can protect your privacy with Big Boy VPN. Use coupon code SWAP if you want to get 15% off on your first 3 months, so that you don't end up like him.